Right guys, I thought I'd share some info with you because I've been given this compressor, never done a compressor before, wasn't working, needed a new motor, new pulley, so I thought I'd give it a go. I struggle finding info on the internet that I could understand. You know, a little dyslexic. I'm no electrician either, but I've got a rough idea of how things work. And this is what I figured out, because it was such a pain in the backside on the internet to figure out. I thought I'd share my little bit with you. If I'm wrong, somebody please let me know. But here goes. So basically, I bought a new motor, bought it all from Machine Mart. I copied one very similar to this size, so I know what size motor it had on and size pulley it should be. So these pulleys, they're about I don't know, 14 quid to buy. That was about 140. Yeah, from Machine Mart, but they didn't really come with instructions on how to wire it up or anything like that, so that's where I'd have my problems. Finding any info wasn't very easy, so what I did, when you open the box, that's all I found instruction wise. We can get out the bloody light, there we go. So to the left CCW and to the right CW. I put that down as counterclockwise and clockwise. So these on here, I presume, are the lugs. So I looked at my motor and just basically married up. Lugs are the same. If it was a clockwise motor, the lugs would be facing the other way. That's the way I looked at it. I suppose if I could have been stood like that, but I didn't. So if you follow in the letters W2 and U1, for instance, on the counterclockwise, where it says line and line under there, W1 and U1. So the lugs are connected, so I presume that was. Now I ain't got a clue whether this motor was a clockwise motor or an anti-clockwise motor. It took me a bit of figuring out this, but finally I come across one link that's explained. Obviously I figured it went counterclockwise because of the way the fan is set. So you can see the fans are pointing, so when it's sucking in, it's blowing in air towards the motor. So I sort of figured that anyway, but I wasn't 100% sure. Might not even be the original fan. But looking on this fan, you'll see an arrow. So if you're looking around the engines and the motors, that you'll see this little arrow. So that should be pointing direction. I guess if it's a clockwise one, it would be pointing that way. So, so that's what I figured out. So between that and this motor being a counterclockwise, I've just gone with that. So for wiring it, because I struggled finding a good bit, understandable bit on this. So anyway, so let's start with this. So my lining, this had no attachment to it. This is a breaker or the switch and stuff. So I started off with my line in here. So my main power feed, brown wire to this line in here. Now on here, the line goes to U2, so following this, the other side of the switch goes to U2 anyway, so I presumed that was my main feed. If I'm wrong, please tell me guys. And I could tell it was the opposite to the V1, which is there, so I knew I was on the right track. My neutral switch here was going to U1, so I've wired my blue neutral to the U1 and my earth to the body down there, if you can see that. So for me, as far as wiring going, that's sort of where I was at with that. So I hope that helps you, because it was a bloody nightmare figuring it out. I'll give it an oil change. Haven't done an air filter because I've not found one yet. I also, this was gone, all this lot was gone, so I bought a new regulator. Now I figured there was no wiring diagram with this, but I figured if you look on the top somewhere, there you go, on the switch there it says up is on and down is off. So if you look on here, so it's going to be upside down. When I push this switch down, it's off. When I switch, it's on. So what I decided to do, because there was no diagram, I used this side going to the motor and this side as the feed in. On the side it should somewhere, even if it's a dingy one, it should have a neutral power and an earth switch on it. Now this did come with a broken one, but if you look at the one that came with it, they actually have on top saying line in and motor, which was facing that way, so I basically copied that as well, just copied it, and the way the switch worked, it sort of seemed logical, so, and I went from there. Make sure I had to put a new valve on because there was no spring or anything in there. Somebody just taken it out and put it back on, so this is a return valve. So basically there you go. I hope that helps somebody. Any problems, feel free to go. I'm going to put it back together and give it a run up, so let's see how you go. In fact,